Okay, so in this video I just want to show you how to get the development environment I've talked about in my previous training. I wanted to go straight into doing the front end programming, but I realized that I've not talked about how to get your development environment. A development environment is basically where you will be writing your code. That is where you write your code. And as I said earlier on, we have two types of development environment. We have your Visual Studio. Let me get this note. We have your Visual Studio and your Visual Studio Code. Like I said, these are the two development environment I make use of. And that is what I will try to show you how to install this environment in your I already have them on my computer, but I'll just show you how to go. All you need to do is to, if you want to install, let's start with Visual Studio Code. Let's start with Visual Studio Code. Let's start with Visual Studio Code. So with this Visual Studio Code, all you need to do is take this, go to your browser, tap on your browser and hit go. It takes you to this page. It gives you all the information about you. Just let's go to this page straight away and see. Then from here we have the free, we have display free download for Windows. I use Windows operating system, so this is just the website for Windows. I go to this place, click on this place, it brings me here, but at the same time it starts downloading my my Visual Studio here. It's downloading. So this is just the documentation for Visual Studio Code, the setup, the get how to get started, the user guide. So the user guide, everything is here, and then we have the languages. So I think that is all. So after, I think it's finished installing. It's finished installing. So what you need to do is you click here, and it's telling me that Visual Code is already installed on this system for the user. We recommend first uninstalling that version and installing this new one. Are you sure you want to continue? It's already installed on my, but if you download it and right click on it and execute it, it will install. It's pretty much simple. You follow the steps in installing it. So I think that is all from with Visual Studio. If you finish installing it, it brings up, this is the Visual Studio. It brings up this your Visual Studio. You can see it. I have a file that I need to close. Yeah, so this is your Visual Studio. This is exactly how it appears on your. This is exactly how it appears. So to create, let's say we want to create, let's say a file. Let me just create some files so that to show you how to. I create a folder. Where do I want to create my folder? Let's say I want to create my folder somewhere here. Let's use this place somewhere here. I want to create my folder here. Let's call this folder front end. So that's the name of the front end practice. So I create a folder here. Okay, first I need to create the folder inside this place. And then, so I've created that folder. So this is my front end folder. From here I can add, let's say I need to add another folder and call this my HTML file, for folder that will hold all my HTML files, and add another one that I call, it's like it's adding this into, I don't want you to add that into, yeah. So you add another one, CSS. This folder will hold all my CSS files. And then I will add another one, JS. This will hold all my JavaScript files. You see, so here, let's get rid of this. I don't know why. Yeah, so yeah. So from here, I can add a file. I can add, let's say, front end .html. So I now have my HTML file inside here. You could have another file, let's say front end .css. This is how to create a CSS file. So I've just created a HTML file. This is my HTML file, and this is my CSS file. So let me create a JavaScript file. So I come here, click here, add the file, and then this will be my front end .js. So this is my JavaScript file. So I've created a front end, I've created a front end file, a CSS file, a HTML file, and a JavaScript file. So these are some of the, this is basically how to create these files on the front end. So Visual Studio is where you write your code. This is where you write your code. As you can see, this is basically where you write your code. So let's see if we can write some basic. So I have this file that I've opened here. I just want to show you how to. So basically, this is the basic structure of a basic structure of a HTML file. So this is the basic structure of a HTML file. So from here, let me see if I can open reveal in the, so I think that this is your basic HTML file. So but I don't want to go into designing this. I just want to show you Visual Studio Code, how to open, create files, and all the rest. So with this, we'll go over to installing Visual Studio. So how do we install Visual Studio? This is Visual Studio. How do we install Visual Studio? You copy this Visual Studio, come over here, tap Visual Studio. The Visual Studio is different. This is Visual Studio now. This is the main Visual Studio. You go over, you click over here. So this will allow you to Visual Studio App Center. This is a new stuff that I've not seen this. So this is the Visual Studio IDE. We have Community Edition. We have Professional, but Community Edition is free. This is free. This is free. Pretty much everything here is free. So everything you need to start learning how to code is free of charge. That's why I'm almost continuous everything. This is very interesting. Let me leave this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. Let's go. So this from this where you this where you go to download. Let me see what we can do with this. This where you go. So this it takes you. If you click on that, it brings you to this place, and then you start your Visual Studio Community Edition. You start installing your application and the rest. It's telling me, yeah. So let's see. I don't want to install this Visual Studio on my system yet because I don't want it to start conflicting with my. But let's say we want to install it. Let's see what will happen. So it's bring yes. I click on yes. So yeah, this come up now. So yeah, but I think I don't really want to install because what I have is the 2018 Visual Studio 2017. I don't really want to start installing Visual Studio 2019 now. Let's just install it and see what happens. Let's just install it and see what happens. So this is now fetching all the stuff and I don't want the preview because I don't want to start uninstalling it and what have you. But I don't want this video to be too long, so if it's taking too much time, I will leave it. It's installing Visual Studio Installer. So once it finishes with Visual Studio Installer, then you can now move over to, I might not really wait for this to finish installing. Yeah. So I think that is all it will install. I think I don't want it to, because I don't want the video to. Yeah, so this is the Visual Studio installer. You can see the Visual Studio installer now. So this allows me to install pretty much everything. Like if I want all these things, if I want all these, if I want to individual component, if I workload, if I'm developing ASP.NET web application, so this is basically what I'll be. If I'm doing, you see, that is one good thing about Visual Studio. If I want to develop, if I want to work on Python, it has a Python stuff. If I want to develop like JavaScript, it has a JavaScript. This is the Node.js, ASP.NET or Python. So that's why I always recommend using Visual Studio because it has pretty much everything you need. Everything you need. Microsoft has everything you need to be a good software developer. So I think that is let me see what happened. I think that is it. That is basically it. I don't want to start going through installing it, but this is still under preview. So I don't want to install anything that is still under preview. The second preview of videos. I don't want preview. It's still under preview. I don't want to install any preview something until I'm sure that this Visual Studio, this one is matured and strong. That's when I will start installing it on my machine. Yeah, I think that is all for now. So once you've installed this is a typical Visual Studio. This is your Visual Studio. This is how your Visual Studio looks like. You see. This is basically how your Visual Studio essentially looks like. These are all the tools. I've created a folder. Let's say if I want to create, I've created a folder. So that is, well, you can always, once you install this software, you can always do anything. It's simple to learn. I'm not even sure I sat down to like read anything about Visual Studio. I was just using it to reading a book that was doing the project, and I was just following through. Okay, click here, click here, click here, and all the rest. I think that is all. I don't want the video to overshoot. So thank you very much. So to summarize, so I've showed you how to install Visual Studio Code, which is here. After installing the Visual Studio Code, I now showed you how to install Visual Studio. This is Visual Studio. The other one is Visual Studio Code. This one is Visual Studio. So I think this is where you write all your code. This is where you write like all your code. I think that is all for now. So thank you very much.